Morning. So we wanted to make a video today to talk about holding your light, and I guess the real crux of the video is seeing this current situation and the chaos from a higher perspective.
Seeing maybe beyond, or looking at maybe a little bit of the positives of what's going on, or understanding it from that different perspective. So I guess we see what's going on as really quite a fascinating process where a lot of things are coming up. And some of those things that are coming up aren't pleasant, or they're messy. And this is within us personally, and then also within the collective, within our systems, and also
family
systems. COVID's like the catalyst or the provoker that's poking holes into everything that's not working, or everything that needs to change. All of our fears about mortality and
all the existential fears. Getting
big
provoked.
But the good news is that, and therapists would know this, for instance, is that whatever is unconscious needs to be brought to the conscious mind in order for it to be healed and released. So that's happening across the board.
It's happening across society, globally at the moment. And within us all as well.
So things have to be brought up. Even, the stuff that's not comfortable needs to be brought up in order for it to be healed and released. And this is all part of a process of awakening, or restructuring, or reforming of a new earth, or a new system, a new way of living. And that process doesn't happen overnight. And it's an up and down, roller coaster, and it can be painful and uncomfortable because as human beings we're notoriously stubborn to change, because change it's exciting, but it's painful.
Hard work.
And it's hard. It's hard work. It's hard work.
And I guess like COVID's come and put this pressure on the system globally. So what happens is the system is collapsing, and at the moment it has to be in a state of chaos before it can restructure. So at the moment we're in the chaos stage, but knowing there will be some restructuring. Like if we look at perhaps the some strong government sort of regulations that have been coming at the moment, things like that. It's interesting because the pressure comes in from here, but then you see the rising of subcultures over here. So homeschooling for kids, or people leaving their jobs and starting their entrepreneurial dreams, or
exciting little subcultures, people growing their own vegetables, or
getting off grid. It's like, so the pressure is applied here, but for things to be in equilibrium, things are coming up over here, which is really interesting.
New things are still being born, and these are positive things. And I think it's also important to note that a lot of ancient cultures have predicted this time of awakening within society. It's all part of the age of Aquarius, started in 2012, the end of the Mayan calendar, all of that. And it was predicted that a better society, the age of Aquarius, is about bringing in a better society that's more community focused, that has more justice,
more equilibrium,
that's more fair. The distribution of wealth, which we know wasn't good, or isn't good. It's that's the 1% that own and control everything. So it's about redistribution of that, but it has to crumble. Things have to crumble for that to happen.
So what do we do individually? Because we can't control what's going on out there. Well, I guess what we do is hold our own light. Stay in love.
And ground, and getting back to the basics, really. And even this whole idea of having to isolate. I know a lot of people are in isolation. I know isolation is challenging, and there's lockdowns and all of that. But what's important to remember about isolation is that it is an opportunity for deep contemplation. And this is why Buddhists and monks often, meditate for days and days, and it's part of a continual practice, because, and this is why we go on meditation retreats, because sitting with ourselves, facing ourselves, is part of the spiritual, is part of becoming a better person, a more conscious person. And if everyone's doing that, and I know it's challenging, but being a bit isolated and having to sit with ourselves more isn't necessarily always a bad thing. It can lead to big changes in ourselves, which then can help, change the community. It has that ripple effect.
Yeah, and let's not forget that we're asleep when we're comfortable. So as a society, things have to go through this difficult time, so we're all sort of shaken awake.
Yeah. It's like the Renaissance period of humanity was born out of the Dark Ages and the plagues and things like that. So, and the artists and the visionaries and the inventors were the ones who pushed that movement, which was a huge step forward for humanity.
Yeah.
And we're going through something bigger than that now. It's like a huge it's a double whammy renaissance that we're going through globally. So yeah, we're very much encouraging those leaders of the new earth to kind of, keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Step up. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening to us go on, and
keep holding the light.
Hold the light. Bless.